Well, good morning. You joined me at Blasford Hill, which is a day ticket lake in Chelmsford, and this is the third one I've had this morning. The cameraman missed the first two because I was up at the crack of dawn to get on the gate, but this is the biggest one, just over 20 pounds. I'm going to get him back, and what I'm going to do is show you the stick mix that I'm using, which is incorporating the latest goose. But here's one of the other two that the cameraman missed. I kept him in the net because he's a lovely little fish, probably a low double, and again he was taking on those sticks very close to the island. I've got a little bit of a confession to make. That last fish I caught, I said that it was just over 20 pounds, but it was actually just under. I didn't realise I said it until afterwards, and I don't know, we seem to be rounding up doubles into 20, so yeah, it was just under 20 pounds, and this one, again, probably a 12 to 14 pounder. I'm going to get him back and I'll show you those sticks. Right, well there's my two stick mixes. You've got one really fishy one and one really sweet one. You know, some lakes they prefer fish, some prefer sweet. On here today I've caught on both, so it's a personal preference thing. Both really bright, really good for spring. Talking you through the fishy one first, it's really simple to do. It's crushed up Cell and hybrid boilies into as fine a crumb as you can get. Goes really well through the crusher, you know. Try and get the bigger pieces down to fine crumb because you don't want them ended up on your hook point. And then added the two different types of crab goo. We've got obviously the supreme one, which is the thin one, and you've obviously got the bait smoke. And I add that on a little at a time and just do thin lines over the top of the crumb. And what that enables me to see is just work out how much I've got rather than a big old blob. But from then, it's really important that you mix it through thoroughly. You don't want like some bags are more in than the other. So give it a good stir around, spend a bit of time doing it. And once you've got that evenly mixed, that's the combo that I'm using for that fishy bag there. The other one, this one's a little bit more complicated, got a few more other additives. I've crushed up the hybrid and the cell boilies just the same as the other one. And from that point, I've added a little bit of SMA golden milk powder. It's an old favourite of mine from back in the day. You can buy it from any supermarket, really easy to get hold of. Fine dusting of that, don't go too mad, because you put too much of that in, it solidifies and stops the bag breaking down. From there, I put a little bit of the condensed milk particle syrup on. Again, just a little bit of that. And then the tiger nut goo, and then the chocolate goo. You know, again, you know, I put that on in thin lines to work out, just see how much I got in there, not to go too mental. And then really importantly, really stir that in, make sure it's mixed completely thoroughly. And there you have it, the other bag that I've been using. Like I say, both have worked today. Some venues can show a preference to fishy or sweet. Give them a go, and I'm sure they'll work for you. Right, well as you can see, the sun's come out. It's been a little bit quiet for a couple of hours, not a lot happening, but they're probably sunbathing. But the old tiger nut and chocolate combo under that island bush has produced another bite. Doesn't feel like the biggest one so far, but it's been so quiet, it'd be nice to get another one in. I'm going to concentrate, try and get him. Right, well here he is, carp number 4 from Blasford Hills. It's been a little bit quiet for the last few hours where the sun's been out, but the old tiger nut and chocolate combo has done the damage once again with a little cell bait tipped off with a pineapple. Got another hour or so left, but I'm guessing this is probably going to be the last one. So it's been an enjoyable session, great tactics, nice and tight to that island, and I'm sure if you apply this to your fishing, use those little combos, in the right situations, I'm sure you'll bag a few. Right, this definitely will be the last one of the day. I'd already reeled in one rod, and we've got a final last gasp fish. Always the way on the day only venues, you know, the sun just starts to drop, and there's always a chance on these type of lakes just as it's kicking off time. So hopefully we'll get him in, and if there's time, I'll show him to you shortly. Alright, definitely the last one of the day. No rods left in the water, but the perfect end to a great day's fishing. I've not mentioned much about the rigs today, and I've been using Supernatural, and the reason for that is when fishing with little sticks, I'm really worried about the hook links being looped up off the bottom, you know, say using coated. So braid is the perfect thing to use, whether you use the dark matter or the Supernatural like I have. that is what I'd really recommend you do when fishing with PVA sticks. So I'm going to get this fella back, but before I do, make sure that if you do come here to FIPSed World Fisheries, you read the rules and make sure you're using barbless hooks. You'd have seen me today tie my rigs from packets of barbed, but I've been crimping them down with pliers, and they do rig chicks here, so if you're going to come, make sure you comply with the rules.